What up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So, let's just go ahead and cut right to the chase. Um, this is not necessarily addressed or directed. I'm not speaking to any celebrities. I'm speaking to my people. Because I seriously doubt any celebrities ever going to hear this. So this isn't for them. This is for you all. I know I'm not the first person to say this, and I'm sure you've probably been thinking this yourself, but the time for worshiping celebrities for us it has to end. This has to be the last vestiges of celebrity worship for us. This has to be that, because most of our celebrities are pussies. Our leader class, meaning the black people in politics. Let's take a look at those who have failed us, because understand something. For those of you who may not be as adept with history as some of us older guys are, listen. This isn't the first time there's been an uprising in America by black people. This is not the first uprising, okay? This is not the first time. This is not the first time that black people have got fed the fuck up and said enough is a fuck enough. Okay? Enough is a fuck enough. This isn't the first time. And every time it's happened, white people have been deathly afraid of it. Every time. They fear that. Because a couple of reasons why. One, they fear that their control over our lives solidifies and protects their genetic survival. They are afraid of genetic annihilation. Okay? So, that's what they're afraid of. The other thing that they are afraid of is not being annihilated, but having revenge taken upon them. Which is why they sell that bullshit forgive and forget shit to you. The turn the other cheek bullshit, from Christianity. All of this good Christian shit. This is why they sell you that. Because they want you to forgive. They don't forgive shit. White people don't forgive a fucking thing. They get revenge. They enact their revenge. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say something that most people aren't going to agree with, but I don't give a fuck. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson did not kill those two people. He did not kill Nicole Brown, and he did not kill her fucking boyfriend. He didn't kill them. Mark Fuhrman was a fucking white supremacist who admittedly planted evidence. He admitted to it. He planted evidence. That right there taints the entire trial of O.J. Simpson. Okay? Now, Nicole Brown Nicole Simpson. I keep calling her Nicole Brown. I'm sorry. I think her name was Nicole Brown prior. I think she was a Brown at first. Anyway, she, from what I understand, from what trusted and reliable sources have shared, she was a junkie and she was in deep with some dangerous people. Okay? Now, O.J. Simpson, from what we know, had never murdered anybody before that occasion. And he carried out 2 almost decapitation assassinations on 2 grown-ass people. I mean, that's a lot of blood involved with a situation like that. And all I'm saying is, what they accused him of did not fit the evidence. The evidence didn't fit. I don't know if now I can't tell you whether he was behind it or not. I don't even know if he was fucking there. Okay? I have no fucking idea. I have no clue. But the evidence doesn't fit. Now, he was acquitted. He was found not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Or rather, he was found not guilty. He beat a murder rap because the evidence wasn't there to support the accusation that he had committed these crimes. But you know what? White people didn't give a fuck. They went after him continuously anyway in a civil case. They went after him again in a civil case. Still blaming him for the death of these two individuals, for the deaths of these two individuals, which I find absolutely absurd. That he could be found responsible for that shit and have to pay out money, but he could be found not guilty in a court of law, having there not being enough evidence to convict him. The pieces of the puzzle didn't fit. Right? See, white people wanted revenge. Not because O.J. Simpson did or did not murder her. They could care less about that. The fact that he was with her. They're trying to get O.J. Simpson back because he was with her and had children by her. And they wanted to enact their revenge. I use O.J. Simpson because it's one of the more popular, how do you say, stories or situations. Everybody knows about this for the most part, or have heard something, or have heard something about it. White people wanted their revenge, and that's what they took out on O.J. Simpson, was revenge. Okay? And my whole point of telling you that drawn out ass story was that white people are very vengeful, spiteful individuals. If they tell you that they believe in peace and forgiveness and equality, that is absolute bullshit. We know this for a fact. They're all about vengeance. What they don't like is retribution. They don't like having to pay the consequences of their actions. That's what they don't like. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and digress real quick, because there's something else that I wanted to really touch on. It's similar to this, but I wanted to touch on this. To all my people out there, all of my black people, like I stated in the beginning of this video, the celebrity worship has to end. They will be our downfall. Again, there have been uprisings before. None of this is new. White supremacy is waiting for us to just say, okay, now we got it off our chest. Let's go ahead and move on and go home. They want us to do that to ourselves. But see, we don't have the bootlick class leading the charge. We don't have the sellout clerics, the spiritual people, the spiritual leaders. We don't have their ass looking asses out there leading the charge. We don't have the quote unquote black intellectuals out there leading the charge with all that bloviating and all this big brain dime store word shit. They say a lot of shit that sound real good, but these niggas don't have no skin in the game, and all they ever do is try to defuse the situation so black people can shut the fuck up and go home, so they can get a check for doing just that. Our boule, our uppercut, these motherfuckers aren't there. Okay? The celebrity class, they're not there. They're not leading the charge. They never have. So we ought to stop looking for them to do that, because they never have and they never will. We don't need their asses. Everything that has been accomplished by black people, excuse me, has been done by the quote-unquote average person on the streets, the average black man and black woman. The celebrity class, and perfect example of the sentiments. Now, most of them aren't going to be stupid enough to come out and put it out as blatantly as Terry Crews, big Sambo, milk jug head ass did. He's a fucking Sambo. He's a Sambo. He one of them headbutting contest niggas back in slavery ass niggas. He one of them type of motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Doing a robot for white people and shit. Making them laugh so they can pat him on his head. Listen, he's a Sambo. This dude tweeted this. He said that black people can't get rid of. Now I'm paraphrasing. It's not an exact quote. Black people can't get rid of white supremacy without white people, or else it's just black supremacy. That has to be the dumbest fucking thing I've heard so far this year. That has to be the dumbest thing that I've heard so far this year. What a big... I used to have a word for motherfuckers like him. Big, strong ass, big puffed up ass niggas. He's a fucking Twinkie. He big and puffy as shit on the outside, but this motherfucker is full of cream filling. This nigga heart pumps Kool-Aid through his veins, man. Strawberry kiwi Kool-Aid through his veins. Yeah. Anyway. And for the most part, this is what our celebrities are telling us to do. They're saying the same shit the white supremacists are saying. You're destroying your own communities. You're destroying your own stuff. We own 1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in this country. Albeit the world, but let's focus on the country. 1/2 of 1%, and that's dropping off at a rapid rate. Okay? So what in the fuck do we own that we're actually destroying and burning down? Everything that's being set ablaze is something that a white person owns. Even if it's a black business, a white person owns the fucking building. Okay? Everything that's being burnt is being burnt to the ground because it doesn't belong to the community. If you can fucking figure that out. We're not destroying our own communities. We're destroying your shit that's in our communities, assholes. But anyway, Terry Crews is a fine example of what the black bootlicks in the entertainment class think. He's saying what they're all thinking and doing. Yeah, he made himself look like a fucking idiot. And like they say, I'll close with that. He made himself look like a fucking idiot. Now, the rest of these motherfuckers aren't saying too much. You know, you got your Will Smiths out there who toss out a couple of 2-sentence tweets or some shit like that, or toss it out on IG, whatever, to get some likes. It's a psychological ploy. It gives you the thought that, yeah, they stand with us, but you don't actually see these motherfuckers doing shit or actually taking a hard stance. Now, mind you, I'm not looking for a celebrity to do a fucking thing. I'm not looking for a celebrity to do shit. Keep doing what you're doing. The lines in the sand have been drawn. Gone are the days where you get the money of black people. Gone are the days where you're supported by our community. Gone are the days. You motherfuckers don't. And the thing is, you guys don't actually aren't actually soliciting us for business. You want the business of all the other people, all the non-black people. That's who your support base really is, which is why you never really take any strong or hard stances on anything black, because your bread is buttered on the other side of the street. It's going to get even worse from here because you won't have us to validate you anymore. You can't make that money unless we validate you. But in any event, Terry Crews and brothers like Chuck D, who was caping for Asians, who deleted his post now since then because he was getting so much heat for saying that dumb shit. And all of the other sellout, bootlick, ass-lick ass, Sambo ass black people out there. Puff Daddy's another one. I'm going to say this last bit and I'm going to end the video. Puff Daddy's another one. But see, Puff Daddy is clever enough to at least use the talking points of the black media in order to at least garner some attention from you. But listen to everything that he says. He's clever enough to couch what he's really trying to say with the rhetoric of the voices of the streets. He's clever enough to do that. Terry Crews, not so much so. But when you start saying shit like black-brown coalitions and the people and all these other things that don't specify just black people, yeah, you're a fucking white supremacist show. It is better to be thought a fool and remain silent than to do a Terry Crews and remove all fucking doubt. Stop worshiping celebrities, black people. They will be the end of us, or at least one of the straws that will break our backs. Stop worshiping these fucking fools, man. Don't listen to anybody that tells you that Your ancestors died for you to vote. Don't listen to anybody that tells you you need to go home and stop burning down your own stuff. We don't own Targets. We don't own Target. Okay? We don't own the Korean stores that are getting burned down. We don't own the Arab stores that are getting torched. We don't own those. They don't even like doing business with us. So fuck them. To quote Jason Black, it's time to push these old niggas out the way. We can't listen to these old niggas. It's time for them to move out of the way. It's time. I've been being a lot more blunt in my videos lately, and it's necessary. But it's time to start moving them old niggas out the way. It's time for y'all to go, man. Seriously. Y'all days are numbered anyway, but it's time for y'all to go. You've held us back far too fucking long. You have fucked up our progress far too long just so you can only serve yourself. Those days are over. Those days are over. You baby boomers and you civil rights retreads, it's time for you to shut the fuck up and move out of the way. You don't have our ear anymore. In fact, you never had our ear. And I'm going to say this one last thing and then I'm going to go. This is something that I've always felt, and I'm glad to hear it being repeated. But you don't just get respect just because you're old. I've had back and forth with older people in my comment section before. You don't just get my respect just because you're old. You don't get to say whatever the fuck you want to me just because you're old. Your respect needs to be earned. Respect is earned. And if you can't give that shit, you will get it as well as you give it. If you disrespect me, I will roast your old ass. You don't deserve my respect. You need to earn my fucking respect. And that goes for anybody. Young, old, new, indifferent, ancient, eternal, whatever. Respect is earned, it's not given. Because if you ain't giving it, you best fucking believe I'll bite your fucking head off. And I want all my young people out there to hear this and realize and know this. Respect is earned, is not given. People have to earn your respect. You don't just give it to them just because they fucking think they earned it. A lot of these old motherfuckers ain't do shit in their fucking lives. Ever. So, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and go. Be one, everybody. Stay safe. Stay vigilant. Keep your head on the swivel. And don't dress to impress. Dress tactically so you can engage these motherfuckers if they run up on you. Because you can't run if your pants are too tight and they're hanging off your fucking ass like a bitch.